Good morning. It's another beautiful day here on the Darling Downs. Today it is unseasonably warm. I can't believe how warm last night was. I slept shirtless with only a light blanket. Didn't drop below 17 degrees, which is crazy for this time of year. Usually in May we already get a lot of cool mornings and you can start shivering in your boots a bit. So yeah, here we are. Today the weather's meant to really turn. It's clearing up and we're going to get hit by some cold southwesterly winds. And in about 24 hours, it's meant to drop down to like 0 or 1 degree with morning frost in some areas. So yeah, getting some really crazy weather at the moment. 4 seasons in one day action. And today I wanted to give a shout out to my friend 24/7 Betterment. He made a video recently on his main channel talking about sleepwalking through life. He's got 2 channels. One is just for daily vlogging, which is where the video I'm referencing. I'll link it down below. And another is his NoFap channel. So I'll link both channels in the description. And yeah, I want to comment a bit on this, sleepwalking through life, because I related to a lot of what he said. So I'll just share my own experience with sleepwalking through life. Yeah, and what do I mean sleepwalking through life? It's just, yeah, like the way he was describing it, it's everything just feels numb. You're not sad, you're not depressed, you don't feel all these negative emotions necessarily, but you don't necessarily feel good either. You're just stuck in the middle, stuck in place, and it's like you just do the same thing day after day and you just feel stuck. Nothing seems to change, nothing seems to progress. And I've definitely found myself in that loop as well. I remember like when I was 18 and getting into my early 20s, I thought, yeah, I have so much time, I'm still young, I can figure this thing out. Now, like 5-7 years later, 7 years since I turned 18, I'm 25 now, I can stand here and say, yeah, I've made some progress, but I realized now how short life really is, because time just has absolutely flown by. And while I have made some decent progress, like especially in the last 18 months, I've made a lot of progress in the last 18 months. About to graduate from uni finally, and I'm starting to make some real headway into getting into my career of choice. And yeah, like employment wise, career wise, I'm on the right track. Financially, over the last 18 months, I've improved a lot. Like ever since I had that incident with my old car where I drowned the engine, that's a whole story. Back then I was pretty much broke because I'd already put a lot of money in that car and I didn't have any emergency fund, anything. So that was like a painful period after that time where I had no car for a few months because I just could not afford to get anything. And even then I had to borrow some money to eventually get a new car, because being out here in the countryside without a car is very, very painful, let me tell you. We don't have any public transport whatsoever. Like the town I live in, there's a school bus that goes around, the local farm just to pick up students. But apart from that, we have no bus service, like no public transport, nothing, no taxi. Yeah, I'm not too far from the town of Warwick. Like Warwick has you can get a Uber in Warwick, and they have some buses in Warwick. But out in the small villages and stuff where I live, out here in the sticks, we don't have any of that. So without a car, you're pretty much stranded. So for a few months, I had to rely on others in order to get around. And it's like, I was very appreciative of being able to do that. Like I swapped cars with my parents a few times, borrowed theirs. And it's like, yeah, I'm so grateful for that. But still, like not having my own car, it was painful, right? But I've improved a lot. Since then, I had to borrow money for my new car, right? And since then I paid that all off relatively fast, built up an emergency fund, and I got to the point where I have over 10k saved and invested. Granted, since then, it's been financially, I've been a bit more stagnant. I haven't really improved my situation much because I've had also some unexpected expenditures and of course travel and all that, travel costs. But hey, I'm still in a much better position than I was then. So I have made progress. I'm not going to walk around here and say I haven't made progress. But really, leading up to that, I had like quite a few years where it just felt like I was not progressing at all. I wasn't progressing financially. I wasn't progressing physically, like even now, like I've been stuck in that regard. I really need to get back in shape. I really need to get back into fitness, really working out regularly. And yeah, it has to start small. Like I've had moments in my life where it did feel that I felt I was really breaking out of the cycle, and most of the time when I did that, it was when I had longer streaks of semen retention going. That's when I felt like I finally was beginning to break out of that cycle. But unfortunately, I didn't always keep it going. Like I would go for a few months, and then eventually I'd fall back into the cycle again. And that's it. That's what sleepwalking in life is. It's like you're just caught in the same cycle, not really able to progress, just stuck in place. Especially felt that when I was working at the dairy. After moving out. COVID was a big contributing factor, of course, because during COVID time, it's like there were all these restrictions and we really were limited. Especially like in my case, like for example, I chose not to get the COVID jab and lost my job at the time, and I was locked out of society. So yeah, I was literally being restricted then. And that really has shaped my mindset, for the next few years and to the present day. Like I lost a lot of trust and faith in the system that, yeah, it still hasn't recovered. I'm still very wary. That's why I'm out here now. That's why I live off grid. I want to be as self-reliant as possible because I don't trust the system to take care of me. I don't trust that I'll ever get a retirement, anything like that. So I decided, you know what? I have to take my future into my own hands, right? I don't trust the system, just trust in God. Trust in God, don't trust in the system. Like so many people out there still, like they're just saying, okay, go get a secure, stable job, especially a secure government job. Like I still get people telling me, oh, you should just go for a secure, stable government job. Well, there's no stable government job. Especially if you, unless you're just willing to swallow whatever they hand to you. Like, yeah, you can get a stable government job, take all your COVID shots and all this and stay in it. And look, I'm not judging anyone from during that time. I understand we're all in a difficult situation, especially if you have mouths to feed, if you have a family to support. I get that. A lot of people didn't want to go through that, didn't want to do that. But hey, they felt their hand was forced, and that makes it even worse. So yeah, I was sleepwalking through life after moving out here because I just felt I had no options. That's really a key thing. Like you get into that mode of sleepwalking where you just feel you have no options, where you feel stuck in place. Like even after lockdowns and stuff ended, which we had some of the harshest and longest lockdowns here in Australia, even after those restrictions ended, for quite a while, we still had to they still had the pass system going where, like if you were unjabbed, you couldn't enter certain venues, all that, vaccine passports. That was going for quite a while. Masks and all this other stuff. Like it was a crazy time. It's a crazy time. Many people have forgotten it. Believe me, I haven't, because it affected me directly. Well, it affected all of us directly, but it became doubly so if you refused to comply with certain restrictions that they came out with. So yeah, it did lead me down quite a dark path, honestly, because I completely lost faith in anything, really. I didn't trust anything. I didn't know what to do. Like the whole world around me was had just come tumbling down, because you're raised in the through school and all that, and the way most people are raised. We're told, oh, just study hard, get good grades, go to uni, get a high-paying job, and just save up and get a retirement, retire, all this. And like that all just went out the window, because I just realized, I cannot rely on this system. I can't, not unless I'm willing to swallow whatever it throws at me, which I'm still not. Like if they were to come up with these sort of restrictions again, I would make the exact same choices that I made before. Like I just have certain lines that I'm not willing to cross. And look, all of us individually, we all have to make that choice. Yeah, let's go, run. There's a car coming. I just want to run away from that car because she has a bad habit of running towards cars. Oh, the ball is up there. Where are they going? Alright, they're going the other way, it seems. Oh, there's another dog there. Damn it, I don't have a leash. Let's just get this ball and let's walk around the other way. Bit of a... Alright. Bit of a segue, hey? Let's get this ball. Don't know that dog, I don't know how they'll get on. So alright, I'm gonna get this dog ball. Let's walk the other way. Let's walk to the other corner. Alright, there you go. Oh man. So, yeah. After moving out here, I had no job. I wasn't at uni or anything. Because of during that time, I dropped everything. I dropped everything, and then it was really just like, I had no idea what I was going to do, what I wanted to do with myself. Yeah, eventually I managed to get some farm work out here, did some odd farm jobs. Eventually got my job at the dairy, and it was just a dirty minimum wage job, which I was grateful at the time to get something, anything, of course, anything to support myself. But yeah, I didn't want to, of course, stay doing that sort of stuff, and I saw no option, like no clear path, what to do, where to go from here, and that led to a sense of despair, sense of hopelessness. And again, like I was working, I was trying my best, so I wasn't depressed, I wasn't going through all these negative emotions. Like my anxiety had improved a lot. I wasn't depressed, I wasn't sad, I wasn't happy either. I was dissatisfied with life. I was like, this surely can't be all there is. There must be something else. And I'm someone, I have always tried, I've always sought to improve my life, improve my condition. I don't know, for me, self-improvement, that mindset is naturally ingrained in me. Like some people, they are able to just live their lives and without worrying about this stuff. For me, even if I do that, even if I just go into complete autopilot, it's still going to be on my mind. I can't just ignore all of this. That's one reason why like back when I was dealing with all this anxiety, why I chose to, I went cold turkey off all this medication and stuff I was on, which again, I need to stress, I'm not recommending that you do the same if you're in the position that I was in, anxiety or whatever. I am not recommending to go cold turkey on any prescription medication, anything like that. That was just a crazy decision that I made at the time, and I'm all right now. But believe me, it was not fun. It was not fun. Because yeah, when I was on all that stuff, like I felt drowsy. I didn't feel anything, and I was stuck in the same place. And I was at the point where I was like, if I really want to change, I have to be willing to face my demons. I have to be willing to face fears and feel all these negative emotions. I just wanted to be able to feel emotions again. Like these days, if you're on like certain medications and all that, then that's a whole other story, right? But even without that, even if you're not on anything, still there's so many distractions: social media, smartphones, porn, substances, cigarettes, alcohol, all the way worse things, of course. There's all these things out there. But fundamentally, if you want to change, you have to be able and willing to cut all that stuff out. We are all able to cut this stuff up. We have to be willing. We have to be willing to do that. And I was able to do that. I mean, I'm not perfect. I still struggle with things from time to time. But realistically, looking at myself now, there's only a few more in terms of vices, in terms of addictive behaviors or things that could lead to worse addictions. Like there's only a few things remaining for me to do. I'm almost there. I'm like 90% of the way to where I can confidently say I have no addictions left. That's the point I'm getting to now, and that's the point I want to be in, where I can just look at myself and say, hey, I have no vices, I have no addictions. Well, if I do, I think the addiction mechanism in the brain, we can use that to our advantage. Like if you are addicted to something that you enjoy, that brings you fulfillment, like you can become addicted to work. I mean, people say, okay, don't become a workaholic. It depends. If you find something you genuinely enjoy and you want to work on and you become addicted to that, good. good for you. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I was sleepwalking, especially for the first few years after moving out here. But yeah, really through all my teenage years, you know, when I was on all this medication and I had all this heightened anxiety, it was just, everything was just numb, everything was dull. I missed out on a lot during that time, like social events. I practically lost all my high school friends, especially during COVID. Like, it was just, it got to the point where I was like, I had nothing. I really had nothing, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go from here. I was just totally confused on what to do. So yeah, that's that. This video is not coming out as clear as I want it to, but yeah, it was watching 24/7 Betterment's video that sort of got me thinking, sleepwalking through life. And you can see it in people, even older people. You can see, for example, people who might, like, they are stuck in a job they hate their entire life. Their situation never improves. Like, you see some old people where there's wisdom, they're fulfilled, like they have done things. But you see some other older people, because it becomes more obvious with age, I would say. You see some older people where you can really see that they are full of regrets. They have not really lived a full life. They just did the same thing day after day. And look, some people don't need so much change, don't need so much challenge. Some people are perfectly happy being in the same place their entire life, and that's all right. If you're perfectly happy and fulfilled doing that, that's fine. But I would say a sizable portion of the population, deep down, we know we want something more. And that's the worst thing about sleepwalking through life. It's like, you might know that you want to change, because I've always known that I've wanted to change, that I want to grow, but I just didn't know how. I lacked suitable method. That's the biggest challenge. That's the biggest challenge with breaking out of it. You might even know that you're sleepwalking through life, that nothing is changing and you need to make some changes. But if you don't know where to start, if you don't know what actions to take, still you can be stuck there. Like, I've been stuck in certain ways for longer than I should have, because even though I've been aware of it, but I just lacked knowledge of what to do. I lacked a suitable method. And now, in the last 18 months, especially once I finally settled onto a pathway, decided, yes, I want to go down the environmental science, ecology and conservation path, becoming a ranger. Once I decided that, then it became clear, okay, I have a goal, I can work towards this. And now, finally, after almost 6 years at university, switching degrees twice, I'm finally at the point where I'm almost ready to graduate. I've got 1 week left, one last assessment piece, and then I'm done. And then I just wait for my results to be finalized and I can attend graduation. Woo! And that's only the start. It's only the start. Graduation, getting my degree is only the start, of course. Then it's up to me to turn that into something, to get into my preferred field of work. All right, which step one is becoming a ranger. I don't know where it will take me outside of that. No doubt it will take me places, but yeah, that's step one. Get into a ranger position. I don't know if it will be with the organization I've worked with. I will definitely help them out occasionally, but in terms of getting a full-time job, not sure if it will be with them or if it will be with someone else. But hey, at least I have options now. I will definitely, next few months, especially once I graduate, will definitely be spending time on the job hunt, basically, just looking for a full-time job. And I've heard already of places where there might be some opportunities. So yeah, we'll just have to play it by ear and go step by step. So yeah, that's it. And if you're at the point where you're sleepwalking through life, I get how difficult it is, especially if you don't really have an idea of what you want. Like, yeah, you see all these self-improvement gurus say, just keep hustling, keep working, just keep taking action, and just all this. And of course, like, overcoming addiction and bad behaviors, negative habits, that's an important part of it. But the real challenge starts the real challenge might be if you don't know what to do. Like, you can be on NoFap, be on semen retention like I was before, but I was still went back to the old cycle because I was still sleepwalking through life. I still didn't know how to go about it, what I exactly want to do. And that's why I think now, I mean, I have been sleepwalking in some ways, because I'm just like, don't really trust myself like, in certain ways. Like I'm not making any big statements like, I'm going to go on this super long streak anymore. I'm going to go a year, all this. I've made all these promises to myself in the past, and then I ended up breaking them. So I'm not making any big statements anymore. I'm taking it day by day. But I know this time, if I am to, I will break free. I know I will. It's just a matter of when. But I know this time, if I am to stick to my word and say, be on human retention long term, I know this time it will be different because I actually have a clear goal to work towards, a clear purpose, becoming a ranger. Whereas before, it was all also vague. I wasn't ready in terms of, I didn't have a clear idea yet of what I wanted to do. It's like, yes, all the self-improvement stuff is good, but if you don't have anything clear to work towards, a goal or purpose, then it can be very hard to keep it going long term, because there's no, in a sense, it'll get to the point where you're like, what's the point of making all these improvements, all these changes, having all these good habits? What's the point of doing that? But then fundamentally, your life doesn't actually improve. Like, of course, it's better to cut an addiction out of your life, live healthier, work out, exercise, eat healthy. Of course, it's better to do that than not, no doubt. But if you have nothing to you'll have extra clarity, extra energy. If you have nothing to channel that into, then it will get to the point where you just start asking, what's the point? What's the point putting in all this effort if I'm not getting anywhere? And that's where I was. I was like, what's the point of being on sim retention? What's the point? Like, I have all this extra energy, but I have nothing to really put it into. And then I just ended up going back to my old ways. Now that has finally changed. So if you're stuck in that cycle and you don't know what you want to do, I can't help you. I can't. I'll just be honest here. I can't help you. No one can help you. You just have to be willing to find those opportunities. That's the thing. You might even not even know what action to take. But look, don't give up. Keep on going. And you have to just be open. That's number one advice I'll give you. Be open. Pray. Meditate. Get closer to God. That's an important one. Become open to connecting with God. If you do that, then I think eventually you'll get to the point where those opportunities will start appearing. They will. And when these opportunities appear, whatever they may be, it will not be the same as for me, probably. It might be different. That's all right. We're not on the same trajectory, not all on the same path. But when those opportunities appear, that's when we have to be willing to take action, willing and ready to take action. So get ready. Like, over the last few months, for instance, I've been reading the Bible more, and I'm not so good at remembering specific verses and all this, but one thing that really stood out to me. No, Lara, here. I know that lady. Let's get away from the road. Where's the ball? Here we go. One thing that was clear to me that I don't remember it. My mind's a bit of a mess at the moment. It's all over the place. But if you know, you can tell the exact verse. But it's like you will not know when the Son of Man will come. Like the second coming of Jesus. Like you won't know when it will happen. So essentially, you have to be ready at any time. That's the way I understand it. I don't remember the exact verse, but I remember reading it, and that really stood out to me. Like, you know not when the Son of Man will come. Something like that. Sorry, I'm just paraphrasing, but yeah, it's with all these opportunities, you can apply that. There's so much wisdom in that, because the opportunity to escape, you won't know when it will come. Like, even if let's use as an example of a prisoner. You're stuck in prison, you're locked up, and yeah, every now and then there might be something happening, like, I don't know, and any opportunity to escape. If you're just sitting there in a cell, but you've completely given up any hope of escaping, then the opportunity might come there and you don't even see it. But if you just have hang on to that little thread of hope, then eventually it will get to the point, the opportunity might be there and you're ready, you seize it. But it's a narrow window. Oftentimes these opportunities are a narrow window. You have to be willing to seize it. Like, I could have just stayed stuck, not seen these opportunities and not going where it's guided me. And I haven't always taken those opportunities. I would have had the chance to be on the path I'm on much earlier. much earlier. That's why, that's, if I could go back in time and change things, then I would probably make choices differently. I mean, hindsight, you can always have the benefit of hindsight, right? I don't regret anything because I am where I am now. I am who I am. I made those choices and I did the best I could with the cards I was dealt. But yeah, anyway, that's that. That's sleepwalking through life. That's what that's what triggered all this. So yeah, anyway, shout out to 24/7 Better Man. I'm really enjoying his latest videos. He's got some great opportunities in front of him, starting up a new venture, restaurant business, all that all sounds really good. So I'm very happy for him. I just want to give a shout out, and yeah, his latest video really got me thinking about all this stuff. And yeah, likewise, I've got some good opportunities in front of me as well. So yeah, you just have to be ready for these opportunities. That's that. Okay, the other dog is gone, thankfully. All right, let's go back to the car. Damn, it is getting hot. It is heating up. I don't know what the temperature is going to be today. It's going to be somewhere in the 20s, and then it's going to drop down all the way down to like freezing overnight. So, whew. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Onwards and upwards.